Hey there, beauties. Welcome. Super excited to be here with the first ever. Hey there, beauties. It's a new world update. Welcome. What is going on here? Let's get this other sound going. Whoop. Super excited to be here with the first ever. I'm going to pause that. There we go. Here we go. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, beautiful ones? Welcome. I am RozyGlow Hannes, and this is the first ever new world energy update. And I'm so excited to share this with you because this is basically the evolution of everything that I've shared in the past regarding new moon and full moon activations, world service, co-creations, reality crafting, the star piece collective have basically asked me to offer something new in this world, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So if you are not new to me, stay tuned. If you are new to me, stay tuned. I've got some really exciting updates to share with you, but this is really about the energies that we're working with in December 2023 as we open up to the new year. Okay, 2024. So whether you believe the year ends on the 22nd of December and the solstice is the start of the new year, or whether we wait till the Gregorian calendar or the Chinese New Year, we have got some really big shifts going on. It's timeline shift after timeline shift. And I really wanted to explain a little bit more about what this is and how you can make the most of these energies, because as starseeds, empaths, light workers, conscious creatives, we're here to be in the frequency of the new earth. We're here to see that new energy, to vision it, to hold it, to create it through our own energy, through our own example. And for those of us who are the architects of the new world, we are the visionaries, okay? We're the seers, the oracles of this new world paradigm. And we really need to stay away from the fray, okay? This is really important. It does you no good as an architect to keep diving into the lower frequency energies. It's not serving to pity. It's not serving to worry about others. The key is to, whatever you see that you don't like in this world, it's to actually hold the vision of what you would like instead. That's what the architects are here to do. Now, the builders, or the nurturers of the new earth, if you like, are here to help create the change. So, we have every possible tool at our disposal now, both to clear trauma from the past, ancestral trauma, epigenetic trauma, and also to be able to prevent it happening in the future. So all the therapists, the healers, the teachers, the psychotherapists, the psychologists, well, teachers are very, very important, but basically all of you who are here as way showers, counselors, offering any modality of support, right? So whether it's, subconscious clearing, whatever it is you do, mindset, manifesting, we're here really as those that are supporting the mindset shift and maintaining that frequency, the new frequency. So that's going to support. You need the vision, right? And then you need those who support the building of that vision by making sure the right ingredients are going in. And that means our vibrational frequency. And then we have the energizers of the new earth. And really, that's everybody. It's how do we shift our attention from what we don't want to what we do want? And it's about how we talk about things, what we share on our social media channels, how we share, what we focus on. Because there are so many good people in this world that are focused on the problem, on the lack, on staying in judgment about what is good and what is bad. And I really want to address this, and I'll give you an example in a moment about it, which actually happened in Kauai, where my teacher lives in Kauai. She told me about what had happened with a protest, and that was between the Palestinians and the Israelis in Kauai. And apparently what happened was they were protesting and standing opposite each other. There was no conflict, but they were just standing opposite each other. And, this is the state of play, is we have duality. I'm not here to tell you what's right and what's wrong. What I'm here to do is to share with you how we can evolve beyond this constant war, constant battle that is still playing out on our planet, even though in our universe, the light has won. I'm not the first to say it. I will not be the last to say it. But the truth is, in our universe, peace has been declared. This was told to me directly by a booming voice 3 years ago. I'm now hearing other channels talk about it as well, saying, the false matrix, the fear matrix, that was totally decommissioned a while ago. But the thing is, we've all been plugged into it for so long that it's almost like you can imagine all the structures are still there that make it look like it's still active, but it isn't. And for us to actually activate peace in ourselves and to experience it in the world, we're going to need to make a choice every time we come into a place of conflict, contraction, the desire to judge, to condemn, to make a decision about what is right and what is wrong, and actually to say, hold on a minute. in the new world that we're creating, in our unified consciousness field, we're basically creating through vibration. And we can't create a new world from an old world mindset. Now, everybody in the world today is going through an upgrade. Most of us are pretty traumatized. I think being able to actually hold that and be aware of that is important. Now, when it comes to the energies of December and January, this is about endings and beginnings, right? So as we're coming into the new moon energy, which is the new moon in Sagittarius next Tuesday, we're basically coming into this trailblazing, it's like a path of fire that burns away that which is no longer serving. And it is actually how we transmute fear into passion for change, into the energy that allows us to, how would I put it, move forward even though we have reservations. Being fearless does not mean not feeling fear. It means meeting fear and using it to support positive change. Positive change means moving in the direction you want to go, rather than encountering fear and going, oh, maybe I shouldn't, I'll just step back and I won't do it. So what is required of us is to be courageous, and courageous means to feel the fear and do it anyway. And when we come into this Sagittarian energy, which we're already in the energy of Sagittarius, but the new moon hasn't been birthed yet, it is like allowing the burning away of that inside of us, in our consciousness, that is no longer serving. Now, there are many of you that have already done a lot of work on yourselves. And, I don't even like that word, but let's just say peeling away the layers of distortion and disillusion and that which is not real but looks real. And that's brilliant. You may well have done a load of subconscious clearing. You will have your own modalities in terms of how you've kind of shifted timelines, paradigms, quantum healing, etc. However, your current consciousness is the key. Okay, I can't tell you how many people I have encountered in my journey as a coach, as a mentor, as a healer, as a way shower, who have done so much work on their own. But the truth is, they all have walls around them, walls of self-protection around them, which is actually really about being too scared to be vulnerable, being too scared to really reveal where we don't have it together, where we do still feel scared, where we are unsure of whether a previous trauma might come up again. So we're really self-guarding. Now, this relates to the full moon coming up in Cancer, because the Cancerian energy is, it's really vulnerable. The crab inside of the shell is actually, soft tissue, right? It's quite vulnerable. It's prone to attack, whereas that shell is very protective. That self-protective shell is there to help protect the flesh on the inside, right? And that's what most of us who've experienced pain in the past are doing, is we're self-preserving. We're on the lookout for danger all the time, which is weird because there's this conflict between having evolved beyond just being conditioned humans, automatons, to actually having some higher self-consciousness, but still having old stories playing out in our energy field that are basically, how can I put this? We're on the lookout for danger. We're still in a mainly a stress response dominance, so mainly sympathetic nervous system dominance. We're on the lookout. Is something going to come along where I have to activate fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? So how do we know this? Well, the way that we come to see it is others reflect it to us. And it's whether we're willing to receive the information, whether we're willing to see our blind spots through others revealing them to us. And this is really important. I want to share with you something very exciting for me, because I have been busy behind the scenes creating a book called the Star Piece Star Maps. And this is a synopsis of the book. This is not going to be the cover, but it is the Star Piece Star Maps, a multidimensional guide for awakening humans and new world leaders, co-creating peace on Earth. Now, what I wanted to just show you quickly was some of the star maps, because this is the 12 C's of co-creating the new world. This is the 6 pillars of divine leadership, the 6 fuel shifts that are required. But the one I really wanted to show you is the 6 stages of birth. I've got 6 stages of creation and 6 stages of birth. Now, if you don't know my background, I've spent a lot of time in the world of fertility, pregnancy, birth. I've been a doula for years, a teacher trainer. I worked with doctors and midwives and yoga teachers, training them in these positive intervention methods. And understanding the cycle of birth is really important. Whether you ever give birth to yourself, well, you give birth to yourself all the time, but whether you ever give birth to a baby yourself or not, a physical one, you're always going through a process of birthing something if you're creating this world, and all of us are. So you know, the pivot for me, and this is why this energy update is now different to anything I've done before, is this is really just to let you know what's coming. And then if you want to actually work with me to do something with this so that you're actually having a shift in your life, then this is where I invite you into the new membership that's been created, which is the Star Peace membership. And I have done a separate video about that. I'll make sure it's linked to this one so you can look at the text box so you can find out more about that. But for now, what I'm inviting everybody here on my YouTube channel to participate in is in the visioning of the creation of a new world paradigm. Okay, we are here, like the conscious creatives, for me, are those who are putting stuff out into the world, pop culture, entertainment, music, books, you know, whatever you're doing, you are here putting something out into the world that others are either witnessing with their eyes, their ears, or their eyes or their ears, basically. They're taking it in. And what's important for us as conscious creatives is that we are truly creating from our highest self-consciousness, not from the wounded part of us that is unresolved. Okay, and I did another video about this, but in terms of this particular channel, everyone here who comes and is attracted is going to be an awakening starseed, empath, light worker, conscious creative. That's just the way it is because that's my energy. So for us, what is important to know at this key time is that we're going through massive upgrades. I mean, the whole world is, but we're here to lead this paradigm shift, right? So we're going through massive upgrades ourselves. And the way I've experienced them in the last few weeks, wow, you know, like one day I feel like I do today, which is really on top point, like plugged in, excited about what's coming, you know, passionate about everything I'm creating. Next day, I can't get out of bed. I don't know what's going on in my head. It's not even like I want to go home. It's just I want everything to stop. And that is this 0 point. Okay, this is where we have to go into the void for the next birth. This is where the whole cycle at this time of year is going into dissolution. In the southern hemisphere, sorry, in the northern hemisphere, it's dissolution, because we're basically having, the message I was given was the putrid state. We have to come into the decomposing and the composting that will then allow the fertile soil for something new. So every time that you feel great again, every time that you feel inspired again, that you feel plugged in, tuned in, and like switched on, right? Basically, that is your reality. That is the truth. That is the new paradigm. And every time you feel like crap, every time you don't want to get out of bed, you feel doubt, you feel fear, you can't do it, you just got to stop. That is the necessary death of the old paradigm. It is the surrender of that fear matrix, of the enslavement grid, of the false, how do I put it? The false matrix that has been so dominant and prevalent and playing out like the Matrix movies for so long that we just think it's the norm, it's the truth. The way I explain it in the book is like, the light has won, but we're all on autopilot, acting as though we're still at war. And, you know, on this earth plane, the physical reality is there are wars going on. And for anyone who has a heart and is connected to their heart, it's incredibly painful to know this is happening and then to be getting on with our lives as normal, buying gifts, preparing to celebrate, doing whatever. There's going to be a sense of guilt. There's going to be a sense of, how can I, when, you know, the world around me is in pain, when others are suffering? And this is where it's so important we understand how our energy either contributes to the problem or the solution. So as challenging as it is to actually celebrate, to feel joy, to tap into peace, to tap into the frequencies that are the higher frequencies, this is your gift to everyone who's suffering right now. Okay, this isn't about you saying, I don't care. This is about us honoring that the way that we can really support others who are in struggle, are in strain, are in any form of hardship, first and foremost, is for us to plug into our soul consciousness, into source itself, channel this into our earth chakras, into the core of the earth and across the crystalline grid. This way we're giving this energy through us to the earth for everyone who prays, who is being prayed for, to pick up. Okay. And so if you're finding yourself oscillating, remember that we just had the full moon in Gemini, right? And that was all about aligning with our highest timeline. It was embodying our highest timeline. Now, your higher self has embodied that highest timeline. Parts of your consciousness as a human have embodied it. But what we do once we set that intention and we're now dissolving towards the new moon, yeah, is there are bits of us that have been left behind, and we go and we fetch them and we bring them into this highest timeline. There are bits of us that object to this highest timeline, that say, no, you can't be on that highest timeline. That's not a real timeline. That's not going to last timeline, or whatever objections there are. You know, we say we want change, but invariably we always resist it. That's just the way it is as a human. The soul wants it, the human on some level resists, okay? So in order to make the most of these current energies, because you are preparing for a new moon, you are preparing for the solstice and for the next full moon in Cancer, and we've got the New Year celebrations and Christmas in the middle of all of this. It's a very, very intense and powerful time. So how can we make the most of it? Well, the way I've been guided to share with you is the way to make the most of things is really to stay on a committed path that you will persistently show up for, that you will be committed to and patient with your progress, that you'll be willing to be accountable to. So whatever that is, it's not going to be a digital product, okay? It's not going to be something that can't respond to you, or it needs to be someone or something that you've committed to that is live, that is interactive, because otherwise the self-sabotage that plays out will just create procrastination. It will create reasons for you not to complete the work that's going to allow you to truly shift. It's just what happens. And, you know, as I said, it doesn't matter how much you evolve and you ascend. The human condition is that we cannot actually see our own blind spots. So we need to trust others. Now, you can't trust everyone blindly. There's no point in that. This is about you being able to really feel with your heart, who is your soul tribe? Who do you feel you can trust as a teacher, as a leader, as a guide, as a way shower? That isn't going to force you to do things you don't want to do, but is going to be literally embodying the example that you want to learn to emulate. This is the way we're going forward. We're leaving fourth density into fifth density. Those of us who are the way showers of the new earth paradigm are entering fifth density, the frequency of wisdom. Now, wisdom is not self-sacrifice. Fourth density was the frequency of compassion and love, but this invariably led to self-sacrifice. Christ is a great example. Mahatma Gandhi is another. Think about, what's his name? Mandela. All sorts of wonderful teachers. There are lots of female teachers too. And this is one thing I want to address is the feminine is coming online now, but it seems in the collective, there are a lot of more conscious masculines coming forward and sort of showing the way, as it were. I mentioned in another video, Zac Efron. I mentioned Matthew McConaughey. I mentioned, well, Keanu Reeves is doing it through his movies, but we've also got Chris Hemsworth. And it's great. It's wonderful that they're stepping forward and doing what they're doing. Most of it is happening in the realm of the conscious mind. And if we really want change, we've got to work with the subconscious, we've got to work with storytelling. And that's where entertainment comes in. And that's why this channel is so important. So back in 2020, I got the memo. The light has won in our universe. I got asked to share this message with the world and to specifically focus on the entertainment industry. So I got a massive pivot in my own life. I was coaching, just doing multidimensional coaching, fear detox coaching, etc. Happily married, living the life, my dream. And here I am with the Mission Impossible. Should you choose to accept it, here it is. I'm like, okay. And this is what I've been growing into, okay? So has it all been a walk in the park? No, it's been really challenging at times. To grow into the version of me that can be here now and say what I'm saying, I had to go through so many layers of meeting old fears showing up again, old doubts showing up again. And if I didn't have the tools that I have and I've worked with and I've shared with so many others to support them through these shifts, I would have given up ages ago. Okay, because faith makes things possible. It doesn't make things easy. And I got a very clear guidance what to do. Did I still challenge it with my human mind? Of course I did. That's what we do. So know that it is inevitable. It's almost like, instead of believing that if you live in a hurricane prone area, you're mad to just go, there's going to be no hurricanes. It's fine. There'll be no hurricanes. The wisest thing you can do, and apply this to your life, right, is to say, okay, hurricanes are inevitable. They will happen at some point. I want to make sure I'm ship-shape ready. My community is ready. My house is ready. My family are ready. So that as and when we pick up on the idea that one is coming, we are prepared. We're safe and we can weather the storm, as it were. Okay. Everything that I'm about is about all weather training rather than fair weather sailing. You want to know, you want to have the confidence that you can deal with any situation that comes up, especially unknown situations. And the way that you know you can do that is through the building blocks of what you've already kind of experienced and mastered. So you've got one newness after another in the next few months. We're coming to the winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. And as I said, this is that slowing right down to that still point. Now, before that, you've had this lovely Sagittarian fire blazing energy coming through just to basically bring the Archangel Michael energy through, if you like. It's like, okay, I'm going to call on the cavalry. I'm going to muster the courage that I need to move through this darkness, whatever the darkness means for you, wherever the fears and doubts are showing up in your life. And I'd love you to tell me, like, you know, whatever's going on for you, please comment and let me know how this is resonating and what you've been going through, because it's been very up and down. And it does relate as well to the Schumann resonance, the solar flares. Like, we're purging density all the time so that we've got the fuel and it's almost like, I don't know if I'm saying the right word, ballast, but it's like, in order to take off, for a rocket to take off, it's got to burn a lot of fuel and it's got to drop weight. Well, this is what we're doing. This is what this time of year is about. Is why we, you know, end up with a celebration of light in the middle of the darkness. We've had Diwali, we've had fireworks, we've had all sorts going on as the dark has come in and the light has dwindled, right? So now we're coming to this set point. And instead of me offering what I used to offer, which was the free full moon world service and then the new moon oracle readings and, you know, activations, I'm now doing all of this in a membership. And I'm going to put the link for you in the text box so you can check it out, because we're launching this membership now. The first part of the membership is going to be the new moon event, which is on Tuesday, and that'll be at 1 o'clock GMT. And then we're coming into the next event, which is on the 22nd, and that's the solstice. Now, there's two levels of membership, £48 and £99. And the £99 one will always include the masterclasses. Now, I invite you, please, just to have a look at the event link and just see whether it's for you or not, because what I've done is I've made central to both levels of this membership the multidimensional yoga I teach online. Now, this in my world is low cost membership. I know that's not for everybody, but typically I work 4, 5, 6 figures, right, with the clients that I work with. So I wanted to offer something that would allow those of you who are not in the position or wanting to at this point, you don't know who I am, like, why would you do something deep diving with me without really getting a sense of what else is possible? I wanted to give you a place you could come into and experience transformation through my live interaction with you. So that's what the £99 a month offer is. And actually, even with the £48 a month, you get to interact with me live through the yoga, but you'll then get access to the new moon and the full moon work as replays. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details here. Just look at the link in the text box and then you'll see what everything covers. And there is that other video I mentioned. But what I'm really saying to you is, I'm giving you what I've decided to do is to show up and to be able to constantly show up for those of you who want the support to get through the changing energies of each month, so that you can chart your progress and see how what you're going through right now relates to what you've just been through, so that you can then decide where you want to go next. Because those of us who are the way showers and the leaders of this new world paradigm are going through things ahead of everyone else. We stabilize and then we help everyone else. It's like climbing up a mountain, getting all the guy ropes in place, and then we help everyone else up, right? So we need the support. And wherever we are in this world, there is support. There are loads of people offering loads of free stuff, which is awesome. And I did it for years and years and years. And if you are just coming across me now, have a look at the new moon and the full moon offerings that are here as recordings. There's loads. You'll get a sense of them. I teach reality crafting, reverse engineering, mindset, manifesting, subconscious clearing, physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual alignment. But more than anything, what I do is I work with those of you who are ready to put your soul in control and to, I call it the choiceless path, but actually it's the most phenomenal choice you could make. It is to allow yourself to be led by the wisest, happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, and most in love version of you, right? That's the invitation. And that's the part of you that we want in charge of your life in 2024. Because with every timeline shift that we're going through, in this recommendation, this desire to step into our highest timeline, we're going to keep having this issue of having a big upgrade and then needing to go back and meet parts of us that didn't come with us. And also what you'll discover is when your guides, because, you know, I'm a guide to others and there are others that are guides to me, whether they're physical or non-physical, they go through their upgrades too. So when they do that, they need to disconnect from us momentarily as they go into their next level, and then they send the guy ropes down and we get pulled up to the next level, right? We get helped up there, or the bridge is built. So when you feel that disconnect, it can feel really lonely. You can suddenly feel like you're in the abyss and you're floating in an ocean of darkness, and it's like you're screaming out and no one's there. Guess what that reminds you of? Being in the womb. Especially if mum had any kind of analgesia, and I had it with my daughter, and my mum had it with me. So there's no judgment there. It's just knowing how it feels to feel abandoned, how it feels to feel on your own in the dark. And this is why the online solstice event is called, Shining My Light in the Darkness. It is all about activating the peace codes. I did write down what the I am statement is and the intention, but with this new moon and full moon, what we're doing is we're basically claiming that this world is ready for peace, and we are embodying peace. So if you want to contribute to peace in this world, you're not going to do it by worrying about people. You're not going to do it by pitying people. You're not going to do it by judging people, okay? Or the state of affairs. Like what we're told is happening on the surface is totally off in relation to what's going on behind the scenes. So discernment is key, and having the tools to work with that is key as well. So what I wanted to sort of just share with you about this build up now from this new moon, as I said, you're oscillating all the time as we come into this new moon energy. And the new moon energy is going to offer us this ballast, this lift, this wind, if you like. It's almost like a backdraft is an example to just help us move forward, burn away that which we don't need anymore, like really have that commitment to step forward, step into our still point, because 0 point seems like it's the slowest vibration where there's almost nothing going on, but there's always motion and stillness. Okay, so when we access zero balance in us, we access the 0 point field, and everything has to go down to go up. It's just part of our cycle, right? So the celebration of this event, the solstice event, is going to be for us really to glean the lessons of 2023, turn them into blessings, and then we get to see what we want to vision and bring into 2024. Now, once we get onto the other side of Christmas and New Year, we're then stepping into some other offerings that are available. So, setting your intentions for the year is really, really powerful. And that's what the Liberation from Limitation free masterclass is that I'll be offering on the 5th of January. But then we also need to have a sense of embodying. Need is the wrong word. Allow ourselves to embody this new frequency and then see what's really showing up for us in resistance, because that will be our theme for the rest of the year. And so I've got 2 events on the weekend of the 20th and the 21st. They're both in person. So if you are in the UK and you would like to participate, would like to come to the UK and participate, then check out the events link I'll put down. So in the text box, you'll have 2. You'll have one about the membership and one about all the events that we're offering. Check them out, because there's loads and loads. And what I've wanted to do is just to offer you lots of touch points to come back to yourself, to remember that you are the co-creator of your reality, and to, how else can I put it? You're the co-creator of your reality. And when things are showing up, they're not what you want. They're showing up to help you create greater alignment. Now, this time of year is, rife with how we deal with families and challenges that, it's all supposed to be perfect and everything's supposed to be wonderful, and it isn't. So there's often quite a lot of disappointment and a lot of stress. So again, how are you going to self-care at this time of year? How are you going to allow yourself to actually see it all, participate without being affected in a way that it's attacking you? And for the empaths, I don't know how many times I hear empaths go, "Oh, I'm such an empath, I feel the pain of the world." Well, okay, you're an empath. I'm an empath too, right? I desire to be an ecstatic, elated empath. This is not a curse. This is a gift. So instead of not going anywhere because I don't want to feel the pain of anyone, I learn to channel my energy. I learn to protect my energy, right? I learn to hold a frequency that means I only allow in that which is in resonance, and I bounce back away from me, transmuted into love, that which isn't. Now, obviously, we all know our sensitivities, and there are certain places we need to stay away from. And, it's a bit like having an oxygen tank. The way I see empaths is that we can go into the muggle world, for want of a better word, but we can't go into it for long. So there's how much oxygen have we got in our tank? How many hours or days can I spend in a high density environment? Okay, self-care means I don't spend that much time there. It also means that I take whatever I need to with me, crystals, the right food, the right clothing, colors, etc., to help me to hold my energy in the frequency that I want. And that's really the message here. For more than anything, if we're creating the new world, which we are together, our job is to be in the frequency of the new world. And this is the conversation that we're going to be having again and again on this channel as I bring in guest speakers for the podcast, as I pose questions to you, as I invite you to envisage new realities, because this is how we change things. So anything that I've said, if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments and I will respond to them. And, you know, I really want to wish you a wonderful festive period. I want to wish you an opportunity now to reset and realign with your highest intentions. I want to remind you that, you know, those dark days, the down days, the days where you feel like you want to give up, where you're riddled with self-doubt, or you're feeling tremendous fear or anxiety, those are the purging of the old world. They're not your reality. They're just something that is being cleared to make space for more of your soul light, more of the frequencies that will allow you to resonate at that level that co-creates the new reality in a way that you're fueled by love, you're fueled by positive anticipation, you're fueled by joy and peace. And that's what we're holding in this world. So I'm going to leave that there. Check out the links, come and be part of this. Make sure that you are taking care of your physical body as well as your energetics. That doesn't mean you don't have fun. I love having fun, whatever that means to you. I know some people don't drink, some people don't do other things. That's fine. Be in this world, enjoy it, okay? Watch that self-judgment. Watch the judgment of others. Judgment is poison. Let it go. If you're going to judge, don't do what you're judging, okay? Don't do it. Unless you can let go of the judgment, don't do it. Bless everything, everything you consume, everything you see. Bless everything. This is so powerful. You are so powerful. And that is where I'm going to leave this. For those of you who would like to know more about working with me, there's all sorts of opportunities. There's one-off sessions, the Divine Navigation call, which is soul reading, and Divine Destiny Navigation. We've got the Personal Fulfillment Fast Track, which is a 2-week container where you can work with me to get some really quick results quickly. We've got really quick results quickly, really quick results, and see the progress in a very swift time and have that one-to-one support from me. I've got one-to-one, I've got group, I've got the membership. As I said, there's just so many options that, you know, the main thing really is about you reaching out and saying, I want to know more. So I invite you to do that. Check out the links and I'll speak to you next time. Remember, it's Tuesday that we're kicking off with the membership, and the solstice event's the 22nd. So if you'd like to participate, the £99 membership is going to give you 6 weeks worth of access to our membership. We've got the 2-week break over Christmas. We won't be doing lives at that time, but you will have access to the library of replays of all the yoga and the masterclasses that we've done already. So there's a lot there for you if you want to keep topped up. I love you. You're amazing. Take care for now.